Hey guys, thank you so much for stopping by the garden today. I'm really excited because we're going to go over my air plants again. I know I just did a video a couple of weeks ago on these, but they're just amazing. And I have a bunch of different kinds, so I just want to show you what we've done here. Now, air plants grow in crotches of trees. We're just going to go over a little information on them and show you some of the ones we have here. We have this beautiful, like Medusa looking one. They're really thick skinned. Now, the ones with the thick skin, like this guy, they have like trichomes on the outside, which you can see are like white. And what those are trichomes. They are for the plant to take in nutrients, for the plant to suck in water and just stay healthy. So we want to make sure we don't rub that off too much. Now there are some air plants with a smooth coating. They're kind of smooth. Here's another one. We have a big one right here. Two of them. These are sticking out of the top. And these require a lot more water than the ones that have the coating and the white on them. You can see, like this one, it's a nice purple one. And you just want to display them in dishes. You can use driftwood, you can use anything you want, really. The only thing I noticed that you couldn't use was like copper or something like that. I'll try to find that below and post it down in the description so you know what you can't display your air plants on. Just reacts with the material a little bit, and then your air plants really start turning color and can eventually die because that stuff is getting into the plant. But driftwood glass is great for them. Little Mikasa dishes like I have a little Mikasa dish, which these are smaller. You can see we have really tiny air plants as well. And air plants will push out blooms. So I didn't go over blooms too much in the last video, but air plants will bloom. And this little girl bloomed on me probably 2 years ago now. And this is the mother plant, and that is another baby. I had one other baby that grew off of her, which I had actually taken off by mistake when I was dunking it, because these little ones you want to submerge underneath like a bucket of water here. I use faucet water, but I let it sit out with the lid off for a good 24 to 48 hours. And then I know after that my air plants will be okay with that water, because a lot of water, you know, has chloramine, bad chemicals, salts, minerals in there. So you don't want to put that on your plants. You know, usually any faucet water I use, except from the hose, when I'm watering my garden, I use water that's been sitting out for a good 24 hours at least, because then with the lid off, you know, all those chemicals will start evaporating out of the top. Rainwater is great to use if you can. They love rainwater. They grow so good in it. And these just require a good soaking. Now we're going to soak these little ones while we're talking a little bit, and we're going to soak them for a good 2 hours. In the summer, we're getting temps reaching in like the 98. We had a heat index of 106 the other day, so it's been really crazy out in the garden. And a lot of my plants struggle out there in the sun. You know, that sun beats on your plants and it just makes them wilt. Even though they have water, they're still wilting because they're struggling to stay alive. Now, air plants, they don't require any direct sun, so we grow them right here in my lanai on this table, and you can see they have acclimated really well. We got these new ones. We actually have 15 new ones from the air plant shop. I ordered my old ones off of there too. You can see how beautiful she is. Look at the foliage on that. Let's see if we can give you an up close. Look how beautiful she is. And they don't require any roots to grow. They do grow roots, but those roots don't need to really be there unless you want it to latch onto something. Now the roots will grow inside of the air plant. They'll start going inside the leaves and wrapping around the leaves. Well, what happened to my little Medusa, this is a real Medusa, I left the roots on so you can see what I'm talking about. Look at those roots. Well, what happened was it connected onto here and stuck. So these roots ended up going up the plant and wrapping around that node there and just destroying it. So let's get our scissors real quick, reach over and grab them. Got nice sharp shears. And what I like to do is just go ahead and cut them, because they really don't need them to grow. What you're going to be focusing on when you do spray them or give them nutrients is this bottom area. So from that centerpiece down, and the leaf tips, all the leaves. You want to soak this whole air plant underneath the water. But when it blooms, now if your air plant's in bloom or going to bloom, you don't want to submerge it all the way down, because what's going to happen is that plant, that flower will sometimes die on you. So you can see, look at this. See that root right there, you guys? You see that growing right there? It's latched onto the air plant, and I'm going to leave it because I don't want to disrupt my air plant anymore. Actually, it's coming off, so we're just going to go ahead and take that off and cut it, get it out of there. And you don't need the roots, like I said, unless you want it to latch onto something. And then you can go ahead and use those roots to grow in like a terrarium, a little seashell, leave them to grow on there and connect onto that shell. And then you could even buy plant glue, flip it upside down, and make like a little octopus looking thing with a seashell up top. That's really cool. I see that done a lot. But when it pushes out that bloom, you want to try not to submerge it underneath the water. Usually when it blooms, I just go ahead, take my little spray bottle. This is such a handy bottle to have. And like for the big leaf ones, like this big Zeographica, you don't want to submerge this guy. So anything that's huge like that, you really don't want to submerge too much. These big ones, I don't submerge that much. They're like purple with some, oh my gosh, look at that big root. Took from that air plant. This one I don't submerge too much. I do mist it quite a bit. You can see it has that thick fleshy leaves on it, which are really soft. Usually they feel like velvet kind of, and you just want to spray it down until you see it change color. Once it changes color, you can then go ahead, flip it upside down, let it drain out. You can see all that water beading off of it. You want to let it stay upside down without, avoiding pinching these off, because sometimes these little leaf nodes here can go ahead and come off. So you definitely want to put it upside down to where it's nice and safe, and it's not going to go ahead and break those, I keep saying leaf nodes, but leaves. You don't want to break any leaves off of this. So that's good. You can put that guy back in there. And that's for all of them. You definitely want to put them upside down and just let them soak upside down. For the big ones, just get in there. Concentrate on all the leaves, top, bottom, middle, definitely the base. You want to spray the base of that sucker too. Just get them nice and soaked down, and you're going to notice that you probably have to water a little more in the summertime and spring hot weather versus the winter. The winter, I can go like maybe 1 week or 2 weeks here in Florida. We're in Zone 9B in Central Florida, so I can go like a week or two without water in the winter. But in the summer, these bad boys got to be soaked all the way through till they're nice and dark. You can see it's nice and dark. I want them nice and dark and healthy with a lot of water on them. Leave them upside down for a good 10 minutes or so. Shake that guy out, and you know you're good to go to put it back in its terrarium. It'll be nice and watered for you. And then in the summer, I usually water maybe once every 2 days. I mean, I water pretty good in the summertime. Same thing for my bamboo. Bamboo, I spray them too with a little sprayer once a day because they like humidity. Just like air plants, they love humidity. Now, they don't need roots or soil medium to grow at all. No soil. They will actually die in soil. So that's what I like about them. They're really easy to care for. You can put them wherever you want, however you want to display them. They're great to have on hand, and they're a great starter plant. If you guys just, are just getting into growing, just beginning, mistakes are a part of growing. It's part of the learning process. So definitely encourage those mistakes if you do make them, and try to learn from that plant, whether it's bugs, whether it's a nutrient deficiency, whether it's the sunlight, the soil type you're growing in. I know a lot of soil is no good for certain types of plants. So it's all up to you, on how you want to grow. Just take that basic knowledge, sunlight, what type of sunlight your plant needs, what type of soil it needs, if any. These don't. Bromeliads really don't require much of a soil medium, just like a bark and a little bit of soil. I'm mostly growing my orchids and my bromeliads in orchid bark. So I noticed it does a lot better here in Florida, just in that bark, instead of using that soil, and that soil just stays sopping wet for so long. It's different here in Florida, the way we grow, so just try to use that basic knowledge that you have, whether it's growing a flower, a little house plant like this that has gotten so big. Do you see this thing? I've made so many mistakes over the years, and you just got to encourage those and try to learn your best from it. Single out that plant. If it is a bug problem or something, you want to single that plant out and kind of quarantine it over to a section by itself. This way you can then go ahead and not reinfest the rest of your garden with it, but you can go ahead and learn from it. I learn the best from mistakes that I make, so definitely encourage that, you guys, and just try again. Never give up in gardening. It's always a learning process. I've been doing this for 6 years now, and I'm always learning something new all the time. No matter, it might be a different method somebody's using that's going to work for you in your environment, or it might not. It might not work. Things I'm telling you, you might have to water a little more in the summer, or you might have to water a little less than I do, because we get like I said, 106-degree index of temperatures here, and it's just really tough on my plants. I can't really grow a lot outside, but these are great to grow indoors. They just need a lot of water in the hot, dry summer months. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Please leave a comment below if you really enjoyed this video. Let me know if you're growing any air plants. I'd love to hear your comments. Thank you so much for stopping by and supporting me in my journey. It really means so much to me that you can come along with me into reconnecting with Mother Nature. I want to inspire you guys to get out there, become reconnected with what's in the ground, what we can grow, and what's available right at the tips of our fingers. See you guys next time out in the garden. Let me know if there's anything you ever need. I'm always here for you. I love all you guys. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.